My parents refused to let my 10-year-old daughter into their home. At the door, in front of everyone. Because she has Down syndrome. My daughter heard them say she wasn't family. She cried for hours. My 95-year-old grandmother witnessed it all. The next day, she called her lawyer and cut my parents out of her $2 million will. Completely. My name is Rebecca. I'm 30 years old. And this is the story of how my parents' cruelty cost them everything. Let me start at the beginning. I had my daughter, Sophie, when I was 20 years old. Young, unmarried, still in college. The pregnancy was unexpected, but I was happy, excited, ready to be a mom. My parents were less excited. They worried about my future, my education, my career, but they said they'd support me. At 20 weeks, I had my anatomy scan, routine ultrasound. The doctor saw something, markers that suggested Down syndrome. They recommended amniocentesis to confirm. I did the test. 2 weeks later, the results came back. Positive. Trisomy 21, Down syndrome. I sat in that doctor's office, absorbing the news. The doctor was kind, explained what it meant, the challenges, the joys, the reality. I called my parents from the parking lot. Mom, Dad, the test results came back. Sophie has Down syndrome. Silence. Long silence. Then my mother spoke. What are your options? Options? You're only 20 weeks. You still have time to make decisions. I understood what she meant. I'm keeping her, Mom. She's my daughter. Rebecca, think about this. You're 20 years old. You can't handle a special needs child? Yes, I can. This will ruin your life. No, it won't. My father got on the phone. Sweetheart, your mother is right. This is too much for you. We can help you explore other options. There are no other options. I'm having this baby. They tried to change my mind. For weeks. They sent me articles about the challenges of raising a child with Down syndrome, about quality of life issues, about burden on families. I ignored them all. I continued my pregnancy, finished my semester, made plans. At 40 weeks, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, Sophie Rose, 6 pounds, 8 ounces. Perfect. My parents came to the hospital. Reluctantly, they held her, briefly, looked at her with pity, not love, pity. She looks normal, my mother said. She is normal, I replied. She just has an extra chromosome. They didn't visit much after that, maybe once a month, always with excuses. We're busy. We have plans. Maybe next time. Meanwhile, my grandmother, my father's mother, Helen, 95 years old, sharp as a tack. She was different. She came to the hospital the day Sophie was born, held her for hours. She's beautiful, Grandma Helen said. Absolutely beautiful. Thanks, Grandma. Your father tell you about your Uncle Jimmy? No. Who's Uncle Jimmy? My brother, born in 1935, had cerebral palsy. Back then, doctors told my parents to institutionalize him, said he'd be a burden, said he'd never amount to anything. What happened? My parents refused, kept him home, loved him, included him. Jimmy lived until he was 67, had a job, had friends, had a full life, because someone gave him a chance. She looked at Sophie. This little one deserves the same chance. Over the next 10 years, Grandma Helen was Sophie's biggest champion. She came to every birthday party, every school event, every therapy appointment. She learned about Down syndrome, joined support groups, advocated for inclusion. My parents, meanwhile, stayed distant. They'd see Sophie at holidays, obligatory visits. But there was always this distance, this discomfort. They never bonded with her. Not like they bonded with my sister's children. My sister Jennifer has 2 kids, both typically developing. 8-year-old Emma, 6-year-old Lucas. My parents are obsessed with them, babysit them constantly, take them on trips, post about them on social media. Sophie? Barely mentioned, rarely photographed, never babysat. We're not comfortable with her medical needs, my mother would say. Sophie doesn't have complex medical needs. She's healthy. She just has Down syndrome. But to my parents, that was enough reason to exclude her. This went on for years. Sophie noticed. Even as a young child, she noticed. Why don't Grandma and Grandpa want to play with me? They're just busy, sweetie. They play with Emma and Lucas. I had no answer, because she was right. Last month, everything came to a head. It was my father's 65th birthday. My parents were throwing a big party. Their house, family, and friends. About 40 people. I received the invitation. You and Sophie are welcome. That should have been my first warning. The fact that they had to specify Sophie was invited. Like it wasn't obvious. Like she might not be included. But I took it at face value. Sophie was excited. I get to see Grandma and Grandpa. She picked out a dress, pink with flowers, her favorite. She wrapped a present, a photo frame she decorated herself, with the words, "I love Grandpa," in painted letters. We arrived at my parents' house at 2 p.m. The party was in full swing. People everywhere, music playing, food on tables. Sophie held her present, bouncing with excitement. I rang the doorbell. My mother answered. She looked at Sophie, then at me. Her expression changed. "Rebecca, what are you doing here?" "It's Dad's birthday party. We were invited." "Yes, you were invited." "Right, so we're here." My mother stepped into the doorway, blocking the entrance. "I thought you'd come alone." "Why would I come alone? Sophie wants to see her grandfather." My mother lowered her voice. "Rebecca, this is a nice party, adult conversations. I don't think Sophie would enjoy it. She's 10 years old. She's fine at parties. I just think it would be better if you took her home." I stared at my mother. "Are you seriously telling me to leave?" "I'm saying this party isn't appropriate for her." Sophie was standing right there, hearing everything. "Mom, she can hear you." "I'm just being honest." Other guests were starting to notice. The conversation at the door. My raised voice. My father appeared. "What's going on?" "Rebecca brought Sophie. I told her this isn't a good idea." My father looked at Sophie, then at me. "Your mother's right. This party is for adults, family. You should take Sophie home." "She is family." "You know what I mean." "No, I don't. Explain it to me." My mother spoke again. "Rebecca, don't make a scene. This day is about your father, not about this." She gestured at Sophie, like she was a problem, a thing. Sophie's eyes were filling with tears. "Why don't Grandma and Grandpa want me here?" "Sophie, honey..." My mother cut me off. "Sophie, darling, this just isn't a party for children, that's all." "But Emma and Lucas are here. I saw them in the window." My mother's face tightened. "That's different." "How?" She didn't answer. She didn't have to. Sophie understood. I watched my daughter's face crumble, the realization that she wasn't wanted, not because of her age, because of who she was. I was about to turn and leave, to get Sophie out of there, to protect her from more hurt. But then I heard a voice. "What in God's name is happening here?" Grandma Helen, 95 years old, walking up behind my parents, using her cane, moving slowly but deliberately. "Mom, this doesn't concern you." My father started. The hell it doesn't. Did you just turn away your own granddaughter? We're just saying this isn't the right environment. For what? For a child? I see 2 other children inside. That's different, Mom. How? Silence. Say it, Grandma Helen demanded. Say why it's different. My father couldn't, wouldn't. Grandma Helen looked at Sophie, at her tears, at the present in her hands. Come here, baby girl. Sophie ran to her, hugged her. They don't want me here, Gigi. Gigi, Sophie's nickname for her great-grandmother. I know, sweetheart, I know. Grandma Helen looked at my parents with disgust, pure disgust. I raised you better than this. Mom, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're ashamed of your own granddaughter because she has Down syndrome. You're embarrassed by her. You don't want her around your friends. That's not... Don't lie to me. I've watched this for 10 years. The way you ignore her, exclude her, pretend she doesn't exist. I kept hoping you'd change, that you'd see what I see. A beautiful, loving child who just wants to be accepted. My mother was crying now. You don't understand the challenges. I understand perfectly. I had a brother with cerebral palsy. I know what inclusion looks like. And I know what rejection looks like. And this, she gestured at the scene. This is rejection of an innocent child, your own flesh and blood. She turned to me. Rebecca, take Sophie home. This isn't a place for kind hearts. I took Sophie's hand. She was sobbing. Come on, baby. Let's go. As we walked to the car, I heard Grandma Helen's voice behind us. I'm leaving too. I won't stay where children are judged and rejected. The drive home was heartbreaking. Sophie cried in the back seat. Why don't they love me, Mommy? I don't know, baby. Is it because of my Down syndrome? Sophie. That's it, isn't it? They don't want me because I'm different. I pulled over, turned around, looked at my daughter. Sophie, listen to me. There is nothing wrong with you. Nothing. You are perfect exactly as you are. Grandma and Grandpa are wrong. They're the ones with the problem, not you. But they're my grandparents. They're supposed to love me. They should. You're right, and I'm so sorry they don't. But you know who does love you? Gigi, and me, and Aunt Jennifer's kids, and your teachers, and your friends. So many people love you, Sophie. But not them. No, not them. And that's their loss, because you're amazing. We went home. Sophie went to her room. I sat on the couch, and I cried. For my daughter, for her pain, for the rejection she'd just experienced. The next morning, my phone rang. Grandma Helen. How's Sophie? Devastated. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. It's not your fault, Grandma. I should have said something years ago. I should have confronted them, made them see. You tried. They didn't want to hear it. Silence. Then Grandma Helen said something I'll never forget. I called my lawyer this morning. Your lawyer? Yes, Henry Morrison. He's been my attorney for 40 years. I'm changing my will. Grandma, you don't have to... Yes, I do. Rebecca, I have an estate worth about $2 million. Your father and his 2 siblings were set to split it equally, about $600,000 each. I know. I'm taking your father's share away, all of it. Grandma, I'm putting it in trust for Sophie, a special needs trust, so she'll be taken care of, for her whole life. I started crying. Grandma, that's too much. It's not enough. That child was rejected by her own grandparents. The least I can do is ensure her financial security. Make sure she never has to depend on them, or anyone who might reject her. What about Dad? What about him? He made his choice. He chose prejudice over love. He rejected his own granddaughter. He doesn't deserve my legacy. He's your son. And she's my great-granddaughter. And I love her. I won't leave my money to someone who treats her like she's less than human. The will was changed within a week. Grandma Helen's lawyer drew up the papers. A special needs trust for Sophie. Managed by me. To be used for her care, education, and quality of life. For as long as she lives. My father found out 2 months later. Grandma Helen told him herself, over the phone. I wasn't there, but she told me about it later. Dad, I need to tell you something. I've changed my will. Okay. I'm leaving your share to Sophie, in a trust. Silence. Then, what? You heard me. You're getting nothing. Mom, you can't be serious. I'm completely serious. You rejected your granddaughter. You don't deserve my money. That's not fair. What's not fair is turning away a 10-year-old child at your door because she has Down syndrome. We didn't reject her because of that. Don't lie, I was there. I saw everything. My father tried to apologize. Tried to explain, tried to convince her to change her mind. She wouldn't budge. You made your choice, son. Now live with it. He hung up. Then called me, angry, desperate. Rebecca, you have to talk to Grandma. She's making a huge mistake. No, Dad, you made the mistake. We were just trying to keep the party adult-focused. You turned away your granddaughter, at the door, in front of everyone, because you're embarrassed by her. That's not true. Then why are Emma and Lucas always welcome but Sophie never is? Silence. Dad, you've had 10 years to love her, to accept her, to include her. You chose not to. This is the consequence. He tried to visit, to apologize to Sophie. I said no. You don't get to hurt her and then waltz back in when there's money involved. This isn't about money. Then why now? Why apologize now, after 10 years of rejection? He had no answer. My mother called next, crying. Rebecca, please, we're sorry, we'll do better, just talk to Grandma. No. That money was supposed to be our retirement security, and Sophie was supposed to be your grandchild, but you rejected her. We didn't reject her. Mom, stop. I was there. Sophie was there. Grandma was there. We all heard you say she wasn't welcome, that she wasn't family. I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? She couldn't explain, because there was no good explanation. My parents tried to contest the will, claimed Grandma Helen wasn't of sound mind, that I'd manipulated her. The court disagreed. Grandma Helen, at 95, was sharp, clear, competent. She testified herself. I'm changing my will because my son rejected his own grandchild due to her disability. That's not someone I want inheriting my legacy. I'm leaving my money to the child who deserves it. The child who was rejected simply for being who she is. The judge ruled in her favor. The will stood. Sophie's trust was established. $600,000 invested, managed, for her future. My parents were devastated, not because they'd lost their granddaughter's love, but because they'd lost money. That told me everything I needed to know. Grandma Helen passed away last year. Peacefully. At 96. Sophie was heartbroken. Gigi was the only grandparent who loved me. I know, baby, but she loved you so much. I miss her. Me too. At the funeral, my parents tried to approach Sophie, to offer condolences. Sophie walked away. She hasn't spoken to them since, and I support her decision, because she deserves better than grandparents who only valued her when money was involved. The trust is growing, managed well, invested carefully. By the time Sophie is an adult, it'll be worth close to $1 million. money for group homes if she needs them, for job training, for medical care, for quality of life, for independence, whatever she needs. Grandma Helen made sure of it. My parents occasionally reach out, wanting to fix things, wanting a relationship, but it's too late. You can't reject a child for 10 years, refuse to let her in your home, call her not family, and then expect forgiveness. Some things can't be undone. Some hurts cut too deep. Sophie is 14 now, beautiful, smart, kind. She has friends, hobbies, dreams. She wants to work with animals when she grows up. She volunteers at a local shelter. She's thriving, without her grandparents. Proving them wrong every single day. The moral of this story is simple. Don't reject people because they're different. Don't exclude children because they have disabilities. Don't judge worth by ability. My parents thought Sophie was a burden, an embarrassment, someone to hide. They were wrong. She's a gift, a blessing, a light, and they missed out on knowing her. That's their loss, not hers. Grandma Helen understood that. She saw Sophie for who she was, not her diagnosis, not her disability, her heart, her spirit, her soul. And she made sure Sophie would be taken care of, long after she was gone. That's love. That's family. That's what grandparents should be. To anyone with a child who's been rejected by family, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Your child doesn't deserve that. But know this. The people who reject them are the ones missing out, not your child. Your child is perfect as they are. And they deserve people who see that, who celebrate that, who love them unconditionally. Find those people. Build your family with them. Blood doesn't always mean family. Sometimes family is the people who choose to love you, who show up, who accept you as you are. That's real family. Sophie has that in her friends, in her community, in me, and she had it in Grandma Helen, who loved her fiercely until her last breath and made sure she'd be taken care of forever. That's the legacy my parents lost, not just money, the legacy of being good people, of being loving grandparents, of accepting their grandchild. They chose prejudice, they paid the price. And Sophie is thriving, proving every single day that she's worthy of love, of acceptance, of family. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have a child with special needs, know that they're perfect, exactly as they are. And anyone who can't see that doesn't deserve them. Love your children fiercely, protect them always, and find the people who see them for the gifts they are. That's what matters. Not the people who reject them, but the people who choose to love them. Those are the ones who deserve your child. Everyone else? They're lost.